Trump because duh. But if Kamala Harris is running on the same border policy, the same trickle-down economics, if she's running on pretty much the same lock them all up carceral messaging that the Republican Party is running on, then exactly what the fuck is the difference? If the Democrats are going to have a convention where they refuse to let delegates speak, if the Democrats are going to have a convention where they refuse to let delegates come to the floor, where they're kicking out independent media who is not saying things that they agree with, if the Democrats are going to hold a convention and do things like that, how is that not fascism in and of itself? No one can seem to answer that question. How is that not fascism in and of itself? I just really want to finish this out with this last quote from How Nonviolence Protects the State. And it is this: the state has co-opted black culture to foster a celebration of the same ideological constructs that kidnapped, enslaved, and lynched us in the first place, while channeling the anger from generations of abuse into cycles of violence within the black community. So we are literally doing the white man's work for them. We are doing the white man's work for them by continuing to put our faith and trust and active participation into systems that have lynched and enslaved us, that is literally committing genocide right now in Haiti, in Congo, in Palestine. As long as we continue to put our faith and trust and participation against behind that, we will always be oppressed. Period.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the latest episode of Andre the Man Show. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and Andre the Man Show is exclusively on the ATP network. You can catch the ATP network on Rumble and YouTube, and not Twitch anymore because we got suspended. I'm gonna get into all that in a second. And also too, you can follow the ATP network on Twitter. Right here on the bottom of your ticker. The handle is ATP Network 247. And also my podcast, Real Recognize Real, available on all major podcasting platforms. So, and also too, our comrade Trina Pants, she needs help. Donate to her GoFundMe. The link is in the description in the live stream. So if you're on YouTube and Rumble, just check it out, read it for yourself. And if you are on Twitter, you can just go onto my page, and it's the pinned tweet below the bio. So thank you guys so much for donating to us so far. I got a lot to say. First of all, before I get to what Afeni said, she said a lot. I should have wrote this stuff down while I was behind the scenes, but I want to apologize to everybody for the actions last night. I'm talking about the picture that was shown on the live stream. It's not the people's fault that was in the live stream. They're not on YouTube and Twitch like I am. I haven't made content on YouTube that much. I made it before a long time ago, but a lot of people that on YouTube, they talk about how YouTube works, the do's and don'ts of YouTube, and it's my fault. I should have told them, no, we can't share the balls photo. I'm not gonna get to how that became into fruition. The ATP network, I'm not a serious guy all the time. I joke around, I bullshit with my friends. I like to laugh because, most of the time I be fucking depressed and miserable, mad at the world. But when I laugh, man, it feels good. And, I don't want, if they are watching this, I don't want them to come out of this video thinking that I want to be serious all the time. you know, I should have known better. I know you can't show nudity. They call it nudity. YouTube, fortunately, didn't suspend our shit. Um, but they gave us a content warning saying that, you know, you can't do that. And I knew better. Like they're not on YouTube. They're new to YouTube too. They weren't on YouTube before. Like they probably watch stuff on YouTube, but they don't know how YouTube works. And you know, I knew it. Yeah, and you know, and Twitch. Some of you may know we had a Twitch account, but it got suspended last night because of the ball gate. Yeah. I guess I wasn't even paying attention to the live stream yesterday. It was supposed to go one way. It's basically a round table. You know, I'm not a good communicator. I should have told them what the round table was gonna be about. You know, the round table was supposed to be another serious show where I wanted all of the members of the ATP network, and in particular only. I don't want no guests. I just want members of the ATP network to come together and we could talk about Gaza, or or how we can have survival skills and stuff like that. You know, you know, I should have said it. You know, y'all want to do like an after dark show. Like I don't mind them talking about sex. I mean, I don't mind that. It's just the problem was the picture and and a couple of accounts got compromised. You know, I put so much work into this network, man. I founded this network in July. I was doing my own thing, and then um, then the CEO of the network, I said let's make a network, and I wanted to add comrades that I know that can add something to the network. Like originally, I wanted everybody to do their own show. But that's kind of hard because people have work. They got working and they got kids and they got other obligations, man. And then we starting early. We got 4 shows as of now. I'm gonna start doing the Tonight Show more. I know. I just it's easier to make Andre the Man show because it's mostly during the day, and it's easy on me because I have to work. And the AT network, it could be professional 95% of the time. The 5%, what they did yesterday wasn't bad, talking about, sex and dating and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong like that. They're adults. We all adults here, right? This ain't no children's platform. So, you could talk about that. I knew better. When I saw that Twitch suspended our account, your ATP network Twitch account, and I seen YouTube gave us a warning, I got really upset. Oh man, that's why if y'all watched the live stream yesterday, shout out to all you people that watched it. I think we had 400 some viewers. Thank you so much. I overall, man, I knew better. I should have told them no, don't share that because we on YouTube too. Twitter don't give a shit. Rumble don't give a shit. We safe on those accounts. It's just the other accounts that are controlled by advertisers. Even though we so small, we're not even monetized yet. It's still, but we're still breaking a terms of service. So yeah, I just had to come out with this because I was holding in last night. I couldn't sleep, man. I was just stressed. I couldn't talk to nobody because, when you're in the moment, you don't need to talk to nobody. I'm not a bad guy. I'm a nice guy. I love people on Twitter. Then why wouldn't I be on Twitter? I think the ATP network, I think I should have just, I think we need an identity too. Some of the members, they are new. A couple of them are new. Our identity should be like the slogan says, voice for the voiceless. I think we need to, even on Andre the Man show, I need to try to invite people on more to talk about this struggle. Tea time, we do that, but we need more of that. Because that's why I want the identity to be, because we in the infancy stage of the ATP network, and I want people to take us seriously, man. And last night, that was all on me. Um, if some of you guys that have shows and want to invite us on, I'm sorry about that. It won't happen again. That's not cool. To show some random not dicking balls, some random balls like that. That wasn't cool. And um, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I knew YouTube had rules, terms. I mean, TOS about that shit. Like, I just wasn't thinking. And anyway, I wasn't mentally prepared for the round table. Really, I really didn't want to do it real quickly. I wanted to wait on it because I want to make sure that we could get all of the members to come on to the network. A couple of them didn't come on. They had their own reasons. I don't care. I'm not going to make a big deal out of that. They humans. People got stuff to do. So it's cool. I'll learn from this going forward. I'll be a better person. Because again, I'm repeating myself. We can have fun, just don't show nudity. Just the ball part. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm done talking about that. Afeni, Feeney, I just want to let you know, I'm not trying to, I'm gonna shout you out. I'm not trying to take your TikTok or anything. I just like to hear you talk. Feeney, you're the one of the reasons why I started doing this. You was on Fred Hampton Lefties at the time, not RBN, but you decided to do more work on the ground, which is phenomenal. And so yeah, y'all, Feeney, she said a lot. The most important ones is that the child tax credit. I mean, like, that's crazy. You let the child tax credit expire 2 years ago, and now you're gonna bring it back. But like she said, you had the Democratic president, a Democratic House, and a Democratic Senate. I mean, yeah. So Democratic Senate. So why in the fuck? See, because you ain't got nothing else to run on. Yeah, of course, the child tax credit is very popular, but oh man, yeah, the Democrats are just wolf in sheep clothing, man. I oh yeah, and then identity politics. She talked about that. A lot of these people are just culture vultures. They take black culture, say like Megan Thee Stallions and the Plies of the world and Steve Harvey's. They take it, they take it and use it towards them. The virtue signal to the black people. Because to be honest, the Democratic Party, black people are stupid. They unless you're not Harvard educated, unless you're not a certain skin tone. Yes, I went there. They look at you like you just an ignorant ass Negro. It's just the way it is, and that's why I said black people don't vote Democrat. Don't vote for Trump either. Duh. Like, every time I say don't vote for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, motherfuckers get triggered saying that I'm a fucking Republican. Like, shut the fuck up, man. So yeah, man, that was the wonderful Afeni. Follow her on TikTok at Facts and Fire. And follow her on Twitter too, at Facts and Fire. And so that's all I gotta say about that. Onward. And oh yeah, by the way, before I get to the news stories, I just checked on YouTube. They gave us a warning for the balls. We have 261 subscribers. So, I can't. I should know better again. We growing pretty quickly. We're on our way to 300 subscribers. So, I know better. I will do better. Okay, guys. I got this video from More Perfect Union. I'm gonna start playing some of their videos too, just to give them a boost. It says how DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber are robbing you. If you haven't watched, check out on the Real Recognize Real podcast where I did an interview with one of my comrades from one of my many of thousands of group chats, Cass. We talked about that a little bit in the detail. It wasn't really a long interview because I was getting new to podcasting, but we talked about it in great depth. So check that out. So I'm about to get to this and just react as I go.
Ordering food delivery feels a lot more luxurious than it used to. Not because the food's gotten any better or the experience or anything really. It's just all gotten a lot more expensive. I put this order together on a delivery app and it came out to $36 with tip. But I'm a consistent guy. I usually order the same thing when I get Chinese food. So I went to my email and looked through some old receipts and saw that in 2019, the same exact order was only $19.27, $26 with.
Wow. Y'all see that? So fast forward 5 years later, in his order of the same food from the same restaurant, the food hasn't changed now. The same food, you know. Only thing I'll say, probably the quality a little bit better because a little bit worse because of the pandemic and workers lost their jobs and they got to get new workers and I know the whole nine about that, but a $10 difference. Wow, that's crazy. $26 back in 2019, which is still a lot of money for what he ordered. He didn't order much of nothing. Now it's $36. Holy shit.
With inflation. We all know that ordering on the app has made things more expensive. But why? Look at all these fees. Service fee. Okay, that makes sense. They're providing a service. Delivery. But then what's delivery fee? And this one irks me the most. The New York courier fee, which Uber defines as offsetting new minimum wage laws. Minimum wage laws that the companies that make these apps lobbied to kill. It's almost like they're...
So that's for minimum wage laws, the courier fee, but you lobbying like that article right there says, you're fucking lobbying to keep the wage from increasing. So no, courier fee is just to add more profit. That's what it is. To add to your motherfucking profit margin.
Hiding the real reasons costs are so inflated by blaming being forced to give their drivers living wages. The real culprits for making food delivery worse and more expensive are a handful of massive, billionaire-funded corporations.
And that is when it turns into the pile of shit. That is the final stage of shitification.
And don't tell me I don't need to use these apps. Many restaurants no longer employ in-house delivery workers. And Uber and DoorDash have seized a duopoly on 96% of the on-demand food delivery service business. They've used that market power to...
Because of them owning delivering to 96% of the food market, hell, so if you want to start your own food delivery app, that's literally impossible now because you're competing with DoorDash and Uber Eats. And, it's hard competing with a $1 billion corporation.
To convince us that we needed them to replace a system that was actually working just fine. That scam has made them immensely profitable. Uber's delivery business made $1.5 billion, 173% increase from the year before. And DoorDash pulls in a ludicrous 49% margin on delivery. It's middleman capitalism, where a transaction that used to look like this...
I'm gonna order us some pizza.
From where?
From Sal's.
...now looks like this. And food delivery is just one example of how billionaire middlemen are taking your money and giving you nothing in return. Do you remember these ads from when the early iPhones came out?
If you want to check snow conditions on the mountain, there's an app for that. If you want to check how many calories are in your lunch, there's an app for that. Yep, there's an app for just about anything.
That catchy slogan symbolized a promise. Whatever you need, there's an app for it. The examples in the ad were for things that were handy to have a new tool for, and the transactions were simple. Either the apps cost $1 or a couple of bucks, other than the infamous I'm Rich app, which cost $1,000 and did nothing, or charged some subscription fee. But importantly, most of what the apps did just existed on your phone. Existing web retailers like Amazon slowly began introducing apps, but there weren't many apps that provided real-life services for money. Even up through the early 2000s, food delivery was still the domain of Chinese, pizza, and diners. Restaurants saw delivery as an extra table, like as if the delivery guy were just another waiter getting paid a wage plus tips. And a lot of restaurants didn't offer delivery because it simply wasn't economical. Seamless Web, a company that originally just placed large restaurant orders for workplaces, pivoted to individual customers and became Seamless. And Grubhub launched with a bucket of venture capital money. These apps just connected users with the restaurant, who still used their own delivery guy. And Seamless and Grubhub charged the restaurants fees of 15 to 25% and let restaurants charge whatever they want for delivery. Restaurants were pretty happy with this deal because of the volume, so it made it worth it to have a full-time delivery guy. And customers were happy because they had access to a whole new range of restaurants. In 2008 and 2009, a few tech millionaires came together with an idea. An app that would let you order a fancy black car at the push of a button. They named it Uber. To understand the kind of guy behind this, the idea was allegedly inspired by Uber co-founder Garrett Camp spending $800 on a private car to go out on New Year's Eve and finding that far too expensive. To understand the kind of guy the other co-founder, Travis Kalanick, is, here's a clip of him talking about how great Camp is.
When you open up that app and you get that experience of like, I pushed a frickin' button and a car showed up, and now I'm a pimp.
Now, I'm a tech guy, right? I'm an electrical engineer. These apps, in my opinion, when the iPhone, I remember those iPhone commercials. That's an app for that. Convenience. Apps are made to be convenient. They right at your fingertips, literally at your fingertips. But the problem is that over time, they took something as useful as an app and turned it into a major profit margin. You know what I'm saying? That yeah, see that right there, now apps charge. Now apps have every app you download, almost even Twitter, Twitter Premium, motherfucking $11 a month. I'm like, yeah, that's because Apple charge a lot of fees for their apps for you to develop their app on their platform. So yeah.
Garrett is the guy who invented that shit.
Kalanick's old Twitter avatar was the cover of Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, because he, quote, likes architecture. But everyone knows that's not what people read Ayn Rand for. That's like watching The Sopranos.
Because you like pasta.
45 seconds, stir it up real nice.
At the same event as the pimp quote, about 2 years after the launch of Uber, Kalanick made their goal clear: to dominate and replace public and shared transportation.
Uber would not be where it is today if it weren't for a very special entity, the SFMTA.
That's the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency. Uber started as an SF exclusive, providing black cars that cost around 1.5 times a normal cab. In the next few years, Uber saw a ton of investment from venture capital funds and traditional investors. This huge influx of cash allowed them to do a simple.
Quick question. I want to know who owns Uber now and Lyft. Let me guess. The correct answer is BlackRock and Vanguard. Of course, over time. Start small, and then the venture capitalists, the Wall Street motherfuckers, take something that's a good idea, but I think now, just thinking about it more and more, these apps are meant to replace, like, these companies are trying to circumvent public transportation, which should be nationalized. See, if we had high-speed rail, we wouldn't need Uber and Lyft as much as people do now. So
trick. Make Uber rides really cheap. Do you remember that? When an Uber was cheaper than a cab? The cheap cars let Uber dominate the market. Drivers from...
Yeah, I remember I was in Washington, D.C. Back in 2015. Yeah, Uber ride was super cheap. Now, that's probably that same ride. Well, that ride was $10 bucks. I bet it's about $23, $24. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just guessing off the top of my head.
Small taxi companies started Ubering because it's where all the customers were, and at the time, the wages were good. Riders started defaulting to Uber rather than trying to hail a cab or even take public transit, and everyone had the app on their phone.
See what I'm saying? That's why. Yeah, because he said earlier they're trying to circumvent public transit.
Uber had seized the market, and they had their eyes on another market, food delivery, in 2014. But it doesn't make any business sense. The rides were cheaper than it possibly could cost to pay the drivers, cover other expenses, and still make a profit. How does any of this work? What's the business model? Cory Doctorow has a word for it.
Shittification is a theory I came up with to describe how platforms decay.
By platform, he means web platform. But this goes beyond the internet into real life. It's a three-phase process.
Phase 1, the platform is good to its end users. The users pile in, they get locked in.
Think of Google or Facebook, platforms that started off free and were actually pretty good tools.
Twitter too.
Tools that slowly became nearly mandatory in modern life.
Phase 2.
Yeah, I ain't studying Twitter now like I used to, but yeah, you say I use Facebook and Twitter. I used to. Man, I wake up in the morning, I couldn't wait to get on Twitter and see what somebody said about the Lakers at the time, or on Facebook, see what one of my college my college classmates said. Like, yeah, and that's why Twitter and Facebook became popular. They lure you in.
Confident that those users are locked in and aren't going to go anywhere. It makes things worse for those end users, and it gives treats to business customers.
So for Facebook or Google, that's when you realize that since you weren't paying for anything, you were the product being sold. And they both gave you up to data collectors.
Yep. See, pull you in, you love the platform, and then over time, they start doing things. Like, Facebook is worse at this. They share your fucking data, Probably sharing it to Israel now, since I do this,
and advertisers, knowing full well you'd made the platforms an essential part of your life.
There's lots of different technical tricks to lock in users. Like if you're Uber, you can drive all the taxis out of business and cause disinvestment in public transit. If you're Amazon, you can lock people in by getting them to pre-commit to buying a year's worth of shipping in advance with Prime.
Then comes phase 3.
Once those business customers are also locked in, it takes away all that surplus and it gives it to itself.
Let's apply that to Uber. They made Uber easy to use, cheap, and readily available. Then started to pay drivers less and overwork them. And now they're finally starting to bring in money. At that time, the vast majority of food orders were still normal orders placed over the phone. Remember that? You'd call the actual pizzeria or Chinese place or whatever, and a guy who worked there would bring you your food. You'd pay him for the food, tip him, and no billionaire middleman was involved. It made sense. But the delivery companies decided to destroy that. Seamless and Grubhub told restaurants their menu prices had to be the same online and in store, so the restaurants couldn't make customers absorb the commission, but also making it so the customer thought delivery apps were cost effective, eliminating whatever competitive advantage that direct ordering had. Then they made a real mob-like move. They bought up domain names of restaurants they did business with so that those restaurants couldn't get their own business online, basically forcing any restaurant that wanted to get business via people Googling them to work with Grubhub. Then came...
Yeah, see, they incentivized. If you want your restaurant to be online, Grubhub and Uber, you gotta go through us, so we can get some of that commission too.
The new delivery thing. What we're really talking about here. Uber Eats and DoorDash. Grubhub was restaurants using their own drivers, but Uber Eats and DoorDash were something new. They had their own gig workers, contractors with no benefits, responsible.
gig economy, aka contracting jobs.
For their own vehicles, fuel, insurance, going to the restaurants, picking up the orders, and delivering them to customers. And Uber Eats had the power of scale. Everyone had Uber on their phones already. And they just applied the strategy they did originally with cars, making everything impossibly cheap.
See, in shitification. See, it's already like Uber, like, okay, I use Amazon. Amazon already on your phone. You got Amazon Prime. But what about pharmacy? You could get your pharmacy, you get your medicine at Amazon Pharmacy, whatever the fuck they call it. Or food now. Like Amazon got some grocery stores. I think Amazon Fresh. You go to Amazon Fresh. Hell, Amazon right there. They're all in one. They want to lock you in. That's how they lock you in. I hate corporations.
They had this surplus, right? They had a ton of money from the capital markets, and they gave it to us, people who wanted to eat dinner. They heavily discounted the food that we got. They paid the restaurants full price, but they charged us less than they were paying. Well, that's a pretty good deal, right? And if that's all they ever did, hell, I'm all for it, right? Let Peter Thiel buy me dinner every night from now until the end of time.
They wanted you hooked, so when they raised prices, you'd keep using their service.
Yep, like Amazon Prime. It used to be $9.99 a month. How much is it now? 11, 12 bucks. See, like Apple Music. They do this with all these services. Apple Music. It was $9.99. Now it's $10.99. Every fucking Netflix, Hulu, you can apply shitification to everybody, because Netflix, you probably cut the cord, and you like what Netflix has to offer, so Netflix lower you in with a good rate. Then over time, you really don't get no better benefits for it. They keep raising the prices, which they don't have to do. It just they got to meet their bottom line, Yeah.
Once they'd used their venture capital cash to gain market share, they jacked up prices. Now, most people go to Uber or DoorDash first if they want to order food, meaning restaurants are beholden to the apps too, otherwise no one will order from them. Uber charges restaurants huge fees to be listed on the app, and it's a tiered service, so the more the restaurant pays, the better visibility they have on the app. Meaning when you search Thai food, the top results aren't the highest rated, closest, or anything like that. They're who pays the most. And Uber pushes this marketing service on all of the restaurants, meaning if every Thai restaurant buys the same...
I noticed that. I live in Monroe, Louisiana. I noticed, like, let's say the corporate restaurants like McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King is always first. Then the smaller, the small businesses restaurants. I said small business restaurants. Jesus Christ. I'm not having a good day. The smaller tier restaurants always on the bottom, even though actually going to a mom and pop restaurant tastes better than corporate restaurants, but I digress. You see what I'm saying? Who paid more?
Same tier, it becomes meaningless. They're all equal no matter how much they pay. The only entity that wins is Uber Eats.
Everybody gets screwed by the platform in the two-sided market.
And unlike Seamless and Grubhub, menu prices on Uber Eats are often higher in-app than direct from the restaurant, because Uber Eats encourages this to restaurants to offset fees. They openly recommend it. Generally, a middleman, like a distributor, only makes money once. They buy...
So yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's why, I noticed that. Let's say I go to this restaurant, this Chinese restaurant, they fried rice is like $11. Then on the app it's $13. So Instacart does this too, but so basically the restaurants is charging us more to profit more to the corporations. Yeah, just total bullshit.
Buy something and sell it to someone else for a profit. Uber Eats makes money off the restaurant and on the exorbitant fees they charge customers. I went through my email and found an old Seamless receipt from 2019, and I made the same exact order on Uber Eats, except the restaurant weirdly doesn't have chicken fried rice anymore, so I just got egg fried rice. Pre-chicken, if you will. It came out to 33% more than it did in 2019, and that's accounting for inflation.
That by coincidence, see? They know you love you. Yeah, they lure you in. You like that Chinese restaurant. You've been ordering there for a while. Well, that 2019, I guess the last time you ordered. But I'm just saying, like, see, over time, you say, it's just a few more bucks more. I'm gonna pay for it. It's convenient. Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, they convenient. Hell, what the hell? Which in fact that these food delivery apps chart up their fees every year, and which forces restaurants to up the prices of the food.
Then there's this story about a woman in Seattle getting a single coffee delivered for $25. Yeah, there's a lot of absurdity in that sentence, from the price to the very act of getting a single cup of coffee delivered. This especially bothered me because this was in an article alleging that the high fees were entirely due to new laws in Seattle ensuring delivery workers a fair wage. But it makes sense customers...
That's total cap. Really, a medium cup of coffee, $25 to deliver. Are you kidding me? It is the same people that are lobbying to make sure that the wages won't go up. But they still getting away with this. Oh my goodness.
Customers would blame the minimum wage. The delivery apps tell you to. Seattle customers, like New York customers, see regulatory fees for operating expenses, often explicitly blaming requirements put in place to guarantee a minimum hourly pay. The apps could just roll these costs into the existing fees and never tell us what it's for, but they want you to blame the wage laws. In Seattle, the $25 coffee article came...
Yeah, see, they want you to maybe vote against it or something, or vote against. They say lobby the politicians, to tell them not to raise the minimum wage, and then they tell you that the reason why our fees went up because your city or your municipality have to, they got all these more stringent wage laws,
came during a debate to roll back minimum wage protections. That's a clear attempt by Uber and DoorDash to affect public opinion on the law. Imagine the app had an executive pay fee or a shareholder dividends fee, explaining the real reason you had to pay an extra $6 was to directly...
It says right here, we really just want as much as your money as possible. Maintaining your wealth is important to us. I mean, our wealth is important to us, and we don't care if it affects your daily life. Enjoy your overpriced meal that probably don't taste the same like it did back in 2019 before the pandemic. Yep, basically said, we just greedy bastards. Yeah, I wish they just say that, show your, like Sabby Sab say, show your ass. Oh man.
Hand it to a venture capital billionaire who just really wanted it. I posted this line about the $25 coffee on Twitter without thinking too much about it, dunking on the customer for being upset about the price. It's an easy villain to paint, a lazy, privileged person complaining that the servant she hired to bring her a single coffee is making too much money. But she's not really the villain. In the greater class battle, she's on the same side as the driver against the venture capital billionaires.
Yes, they want to pin the working class against each other. That's why they do what they do. Like my older lady friend, she said some stuff yesterday that really bothered me. But she's an older lady, so I was nice to her, right? You should be nice to anybody, no matter the age. But I'm just saying, she's saying, those immigrants coming over here and getting free stuff, and I know I'm getting off topic here, but she got to understand that I think the border thing is to pin us against each other too. Obviously, she don't know that the United States have sanctions on some of these countries where they can't get certain materials and stuff, and these people are damn near suffering and desperate to go somewhere where they can access these materials, and they come to America. Either they get locked in cages or they work for fucking slave labor on $2 an hour, or so she don't understand that. See, you know. See, they have it like, you know, the right wing media have it like, oh, these immigrants coming to Chicago and New York and staying in nice luxury hotels and getting food vouchers and stuff like. Well, why are you blaming the immigrant? Blame the politician. See, that's the shit I don't motherfucking get. Blame the immigrant, not the politician. Or blame DoorDash and Uber Eats for the raised prices. Don't blame the woman complaining about paying $25 for coffee. Yeah, she probably had the money to get it, obviously, but again, you know, it's so easy to point the blame game at each other. That's why I'm kind of sick of the left when it comes to infighting, because, you know, somebody says something that's beyond the fray, that's not up to your leftist standard. Why cancel them out when you just could talk to them, tell them, DM, say why you wrong on this, talk about it, then maybe y'all become friends. Oh man, just, you know, the left is small as hell, and, you know, the infighting makes us even smaller. That's why nobody takes the left seriously.
It's almost a meme, the guilt you feel when you order Uber Eats when you see all the fees attached. But it's okay to want convenience. Corey was adamant about this after I joked about the $25 coffee on our call.
There's nothing wrong with wanting something that's more convenient, right? Like, I don't think it's a sin to not want to spend your money, and I don't think it's a sin to not want to have to work extra hard to get through your day. The problem is that there's like a false promise, and that false promise then uses investor capital to crowd out the actual viable systems.
People expect convenience today because Silicon Valley billionaires created a false promise of a more convenient world that is affordable. But really, they just set up a system to funnel more of your money to themselves. Innovation is good.
See, they start off as, you know, affordable and convenient. That's what, like, all Amazon too. Amazon ain't all that cheap no more anyway. Some of their prices are high too, but I'm just saying, Amazon was affordable. You find good deals online, Prime, and see, start you off like that. Then over time, because you love the convenience of it, mostly the convenience aspect, you say, oh, they raised it up $1. I don't like it, but hell, you know what? Why not? Well, instead of paying $9.99 for Prime, let's pay $10.99. You know, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. But you know, so basically, same thing as the social media platforms. Oh, you know, you can talk to your friends, you can meet new people. You know, it's easy to use. You can have logical engagement. Then over time, they start, you know, over time the establishment comes in and tell them how to moderate their platforms, and then when they moderate their platforms, they start censoring people that's beyond the fray, like me, for example. I'm a good example. I know my Twitter account is small, but again, you know, I'm growing slowly but surely. But you know, because I say fuck Israel, say I do this. They suppress my account. They limit my my video view count. You know, they do things like that, and then on top of it all, they share everybody's data. So that applies to everyone. So you know, they share your data because data collector vultures buys the data and use it in ads. Like, you look at something for Home Depot let's say on Home Depot, like I'm online right now, and then I go on Facebook. Facebook is the worst of the worst with this. Then you go on Facebook and look at a Home Depot lawnmower or something, a refrigerator. So you see how that works. See, generate more profit. See, it's a profit margin. See, the social media companies sell your data to make profit for themselves, while the corporate oligarchs, like the people, the Home Depot and Lowe's and Walmart and Target, you know, it's like a never-ending cycle. They lure you in Twitter, then they start putting ads. You know, they claim that ads, you know, help keep the platform running. Okay, then they collect your data through the ads, and then yeah. So, oh man, I hate capitalism so much.
Good. And it's okay to make money off of innovation. But what these people are doing is finding parts of everyday life that are working just fine and forcing themselves in as middlemen to transfer even greater wealth to themselves. They did it to date it. The rise of dating apps made it harder to meet people in person because the apps became the new status quo. And now
Same thing. Yeah, the online dating apps. Yeah, that shit started really 2000, the early 2000s. Yeah, and that's how a lot of people find their mate, which ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people say Twitter's a dating app. I guess it is. But but yeah, same thing. Dating app, dating apps. Walmart, Target. They got delivery. They lure you in. You pay $10 a month. You have you get shit delivered to your house in overtime. Just the same cycle. It become a fucking not monopoly, but it became a new standard when it comes to online shopping. Ugh.
most of these apps charge exorbitant fees to be useful at all. And they're doing it to healthcare.
Yes. What Tinder, like you could swipe left and right, but I don't use Tinder. I just nobody interested in my ugly ass anyway. So I mean, why would I pay money? Okay, leave me out of it. Okay, let's say somebody go on Tinder and they meet somebody local, right, or in another town or something. You meet them. You probably met those people because they paid a subscription fee and you paid a subscription fee. So you meet them people and then you date. It works out, and then you probably gonna forget that you owe Tinder a monthly subscription fee, and then Tinder will keep charging your card because they lured you in. See what I'm saying? See, it's the same. See, how all these apps and stuff work, social media work.
Like those bogus telehealth companies where the founders end up in prison. Or these networks that do nothing but connect you to doctors to rip off you and your insurance provider. Or this doctor in a box. Or streaming apps where access to content is easy but prices keep going up and creator wages keep going down. Yes. Or meditation and prayer apps that are basically adding a middleman to you just sitting quietly and thinking. They want you to pay to access your own.
They want you to pay for everything. Sabby talked about this. I think Second Thought did a episode about something like that too. They want you to pay for everything. They want you next they'll pay you. Really, you do pay for everything. Just think about it. You pay to use water in your house. You pay to use natural gas in your house. You pay to see in your house. I got light. You pay. Hell, you got to pay to on social media too. If you want to post longer videos on Twitter or you want to make longer tweets, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for hell, even in your cars, you pay the car payment, right? And then in order to, like Toyota have a feature where the keyless entry. Toyota wants you to pay, I think a monthly, a yearly fee for keyless entry. So you pay for everything. Then on top of what he said with the apps, even these video download apps that I need as a content creator, you gotta pay for that. Or if you don't pay for it, you get 25 ads just to download a picture of Kendrick Lamar dancing to a night like us. So I'm just saying, like, this system, man, that's why capitalism needs to burn down to the fucking ground. I'm serious.
Own mind. We've built a supposedly utopian tech economy around the same issues that plagued all of previous industry.
The Apple II Plus went on shelves the year Ronald Reagan hit the campaign trail for his first presidential run, right? These are two factors that have grown up at the same time. So all of the policies that define neoliberalism, weak labor protection, weak antitrust protection, and so on, get more extreme as tech gets bigger. The capital markets did not open the sluice gates to funding them until it became clear that you can cheat the labor laws by saying it's not a labor violation, we did it with an app. You can cheat privacy and say it's not a privacy violation, we did it with an app. You can cheat consumer rights and say it's not a ripoff, it's not a bait and switch, we did it with an app.
And what are they?
See how they lie, say we did it with an app, you still ripping off, because the app is like what the telephone was back then. It's a means of you communicate with the app. You see what I'm saying? So that's like a phone company. Phone companies do this too, but I'm just saying, like, they track your conversations, they track your data. These apps track your data. So yeah, man. yeah, like he said, we live in a dystopian society. You know, somebody talked about the Hunger Games. Somebody said this shit, the Hunger Games is just like what's going on now, which is fucking crazy. Like, I never seen the Hunger Games. I'm not really a trilogy watcher. That's not my thing, but I might need to check out the Hunger Games in the future. Who knows?
Really even providing? It comes down to two things: supposedly innovative technology and scale. But now that innovation is broadly available, anyone could build a simple app like Uber's or DoorDash's. So it's just about scale. It doesn't have to be this way. Without us, from which...
Let me see. What you need to be just like them. You need skill, catch them, saying, you know, convenience and the price, and then you get bought up. And then Wall Street, Vanguard, BlackRock invest in you. It did, you know, you become a fucking corporate phenomenon. That's how you do it. Yeah, just take skill, you know. I'm gonna get to it after this video go off.
The venture capital billionaires derive value, they have nothing. Order directly from restaurants that will let you. Get pickup from the ones that won't. Support worker power movements like Los Deliveristas Unidos, the New York-based collective of delivery drivers working to seize back power from the venture capitalists. Encourage the government to fight app monopolies like Lena Khan's FTC. And don't believe the apps when they try to turn us against each other. When you see a driver minimum wage fee, don't blame the driver. Blame the executives and venture capitalists whose fees show up nowhere.
They're like a gallon of milk is $3 and now it's $3.75, and you blaming the customer. I mean, not the employee. The employee don't set the prices. It's the evil oligarchs that do. It's the same thing. You don't blame the employee, just trying to make a living. Honestly, as they say in an ethical society, an honest living by working. And yeah. See, yeah, they trying to pin us against each other. Saying, see, that's why you shouldn't support raising the minimum wage, because they trying to which you could keep the prices same 5-10 years ago and still you'll be fucking rich. So they just showed you right there.
Your receipt. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to support.
So yeah, y'all. That was a great video from More Perfect Union, man. I really love those people, man. They do a phenomenal job of breaking down this shit, man. And I'm telling you, man, like, you could apply this to like Walmart and Target. Let's say your small town had a mom and pop grocery store, or a mom and pop, dollar store, and then over time Walmart lobbies the city and the county people. Then they buy land, which they charge exorbitant amount for, because they try to lobby. They build a Walmart there. Then Walmart has everything in it. You ain't got to go to 2 different stores. You could go just to one store and buy toilet paper and eggs and milk. And then that lures people because of the convenience. So I'm applying the same thing to these corporations, these corporate stores. The convenience of it. And then over time they lure you in, and maybe you don't go to those mom and pop stores anymore. And then because the mom and pop stores can't survive with a Walmart in a town of 2,000 people, the mom and pop store had to shut down. And the owners of the store either have to work at Walmart, see how that shit work, or move somewhere else and work. So yeah, so that's how they do it. And over time, Walmart, see the convenience and the price. Walmart was known for the low prices. I remember that slogan: low prices always. So the low price, the convenience, and then over time, Walmart, just like every other, all of them do this: raise the prices up. You don't like it, but Walmart can say, well, let's blame the minimum wage, in your municipality. Maybe we gotta pay them $25 an hour. So, or let's blame inflation, which that's bullshit too. So they blame inflation, or it's the corporate oligarchy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all, that was a very interesting episode of Andre the Man Show. Yeah, y'all. So, again, I want to apologize for, you know, um, what y'all saw yesterday. That wasn't professional. Again, you can talk about sex and stuff like that on the channel. I know, it was after dark. That's the excuse. But my problem is that I know better. The other people on the network didn't. I apologize, about that, and also follow the ATP Network on Twitter at ATP Network 247. And my podcasts, Real Recognize Real, available on all major platforms. And donate to Trina on GoFundMe. The link is in the description below this live stream. And on Twitter, as I say again, the link is on the pin. It's a pin tweet on top of my account. So yeah, y'all. Thank you again for watching Andre the Man Show. I'm Andre Morton signing out.